Now she is mine because she deserves better.
She's all yours, bro. I'm upgrading, but that wasn't even the most savage part. Before that text, the other guy had sent, "I can give her things you never could." She chose better. He attached a selfie, grinning like he'd won the lottery. What he didn't know, the man he was mocking had $55 million in the bank. The guy flexing had $67,000 a year. When the truth came out, the wife called the bank crying, begging them to say it was fake. They said it was real. She tried crawling back. He was already dating a surgeon. The whole story hit Reddit. 4.7 million people saw it. The other guy deleted everything. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of it, and moved to another city. His face became a meme. His ego became a punchline. And the wife? She lost a multimillionaire and ended up with nothing but regret and a studio apartment. Still think quiet guys finish last? Stay right here because this story will change how you see everything. Before we jump in, answer this. What would you do if your partner dumped you calling you a loser, then found out you were secretly rich? Would you laugh or let them suffer? If stories like this get your blood pumping, smash that subscribe button right now and hit the bell so you never miss the next one. Now let me take you back to where it all started. Ethan and Vanessa. Married 7 years. College sweethearts who ate cheap noodles together and studied till 2 a.m. in the library. Back then, money didn't matter. Love did. But 7 years later, love wasn't enough for Vanessa anymore. She wanted the Instagram life. The designer bags. The fancy vacations. The kind of stuff her friends kept posting about. Problem was, Ethan looked like a regular guy. Drove a beat-up Toyota. Wore normal jeans and t-shirts from Target. Lived in a simple 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood. Vanessa started making comments. Little digs. Why don't we travel like normal people? Or Emily's husband just got her a new car. A nice one. Ethan would smile and say nothing, but inside he knew. She was done. Then one day Kyle showed up at her office. New sales guy. Fancy suit. Slicked back hair. Drove a BMW that he leased, but pretended to own. He talked loud. Laughed louder. Always name-dropping restaurants and clubs. Vanessa ate it up. Suddenly she was working late every night. Texting during dinner. Smiling at her phone but barely looking at Ethan. He wasn't dumb. He saw it coming from miles away. But he stayed quiet, patient, waiting for her to make the first move. And boy, did she ever. What happened next was brutal. One Thursday, Ethan left work early, came home around 4 p.m., heard Vanessa's voice coming from the bedroom. Not suspicious sounds, just talking, laughing. He stood in the hallway and listened. She was on the phone. Her voice sounded excited, alive. Happy in a way she hadn't been with him in over a year. Then she said the words that sealed everything. "Kyle, I'm so done pretending. Ethan's a nice guy, but nice is boring. He has no ambition, no drive. You're different. You're actually going somewhere." Pause, then she giggled. "I know, right? He's stuck in his little life and I deserve so much more. I'll tell him soon. I just need to figure out when." Ethan didn't knock on the door, didn't yell, didn't even feel hurt anymore. He just felt free. He walked back to his car, sat in the driveway, and made one phone call. To his lawyer. He said, "It's time. Draw up the papers. Have you ever been called boring or not good enough by someone who had no idea who you really were? Someone who judged the cover and missed the whole book? Drop your answer below because I want to hear your story too." 2 weeks later, Vanessa finally worked up the courage. She sat Ethan down on the couch with her little speech all practiced. "Ethan, I think we both know this isn't working anymore. I'm not happy. I need more from life. I've met someone who actually has goals and ambition." She paused, waiting for him to cry or beg or ask questions. Instead, he just nodded. "Okay, that's fair. I'll get a lawyer, and we'll split everything clean. Take what you need." Her face twisted in confusion. "That's it? You're not going to fight for me?" He looked at her with empty, tired eyes. "Can't fight for something that's already gone, Vanessa." She packed her stuff that weekend, moved into Kyle's apartment, posted a picture on Instagram with the caption, "New Chapter." Her friends liked it. Ethan blocked her and moved on. But the universe wasn't done with her yet. Not even close. 1 week later, Ethan was chilling on his couch watching a game when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He opened the message and actually started laughing. It said, "She's mine now, bro. I can give her things you never could." She chose better. No hard feelings. And below that, a selfie. Kyle with his arm around Vanessa, both smiling like idiots. Most men would have gotten angry, cursed, thrown the phone. But Ethan? He'd been waiting for this exact moment. Time to teach someone a lesson they'd never forget. He opened his phone and went to work. First, he screenshot his main checking account, the one at Chase Bank. Balance sitting pretty at $8,147,293. Yep, almost $9 million just sitting there collecting interest. Then he grabbed his investment account summary. Stocks, bonds, index funds, private equity deals. Total value $200,000, $34 million. Then came the real estate portfolio. 9 properties, 4 different states. Houses, apartments, commercial spaces. Combined equity, $12,400,000. He sent all 3 screenshots to Kyle without saying a single word. Let him stare at those numbers for a minute. Then came the kill shot. Ethan pulled up Kyle's LinkedIn profile, the same one where Kyle had posted just last month, bragging about his big promotion and new salary. Ethan took a screenshot and highlighted the number in yellow, $67,000 a year. Sent it. Then he typed out the coldest message of his life. You're right, Kyle. You can give her things I never could. Poverty, debt, regret. She's all yours. I'm upgrading. He hit send, turned his phone off, and slept like a baby. The storm was just beginning. Now let me tell you what Vanessa never knew, what she never bothered to ask. Ethan wasn't just some finance guy working a boring desk job. He was a senior portfolio manager at one of the top 5 wealth management firms in the entire country. The kind of place that handles money for billionaires, tech CEOs, athletes, old money families that own half of cities. He'd been doing it for 15 years. Made smart moves, bought real estate before the market exploded, got stock options that tripled, built an empire in silence. But his father taught him something when he was young. Never show off money. Stay humble. Let fools chase flash while you stack cash. So that's exactly what Ethan did. Regular car, regular house, regular clothes. He wanted to be loved for who he was, not what he had. Turns out Vanessa didn't love either version. Funny how life works. But Ethan didn't cry about it. Didn't sit around feeling sorry for himself. He called his lawyer, Victoria. She was a shark. Handled divorces for people with serious money. She had the papers ready in 3 days. Clean split. Vanessa got half the house value and 1 car. Everything else, every account, every investment, every property, was legally his because he'd kept it all separate during the marriage. Smart man. Then he did something crazy. He started actually living. Joined a gym, started running again. Went to events he'd been skipping for years. And at a hospital charity dinner he met someone. Dr. Maya Patel, pediatric surgeon, beautiful, smart, kind. They talked for 4 hours straight about travel, books, food, everything except money. She had no idea he was rich. Didn't care what car he drove, just liked his vibe. 6 months later, they were dating seriously. Meanwhile, back at Kyle's apartment, reality was about to smack Vanessa right in the face. Kyle showed her the text thread, still laughing his head off. Babe, check this out. Your ex is trying to act rich. Sent me fake bank screenshots like I'm supposed to be impressed. How sad is that? But Vanessa wasn't laughing. She grabbed the phone and stared at the screen. The numbers, the account names, the bank logos. Something in her gut twisted. Kyle, what if these are real? He laughed harder. Come on. The dude drives a car from 2008. Lives in a regular neighborhood. Works some boring job. No way, but Vanessa started remembering. Little pieces clicking together. How Ethan never stressed about money. Ever. How he paid off her $80,000 student loan debt like it was $20. How his company flew him first class to conferences. How his boss once called him irreplaceable. Her hands started shaking. I need to check something. That night, while Kyle was snoring next to her, Vanessa locked herself in the bathroom with her phone. Her fingers were trembling as she dialed the customer service number from the bank logo on the screenshot. Hi, I need to confirm an account exists. For legal reasons. She gave Ethan's full name, spelled it twice. The lady on the phone paused, typed something, then said, Yes, ma'am, we do have an account under that name. Vanessa's throat went dry. Can you tell me if it's a significant amount? Another pause. Ma'am, I'm not allowed to give specific details, but I can tell you that account is managed by our premium private wealth division. That's our highest tier of service. Click. Vanessa dropped the phone. Her vision blurred. She Googled wealth management salary with shaking hands. Results: $500K to $2 million per year, plus bonuses and stock options. Then she Googled Ethan's company name. Words jumped out. Elite. Exclusive. Billionaire clients only. Her stomach flipped. She ran to the toilet and threw up. She'd just left a multi-millionaire for a guy making 67K eyes who couldn't even afford to buy his car. The room started spinning, and it was about to get so much worse. The call started the next morning. Vanessa called Ethan 12 times before lunch, 15 more by dinner, left voicemails sobbing. Ethan, please, I'm so sorry. I made a terrible mistake. I was confused. I didn't know. Please just talk to me for 5 minutes, please. Silence. She texted, emailed, sent messages through mutual friends, nothing. Then a letter showed up at Kyle's apartment. From a law firm. Big, expensive letterhead. Cease and desist all contact with our client. Any further attempts will result in a restraining order. She drove to their old house, gone, sold, new family already moving furniture in. She went to Ethan's office downtown. A huge glass building she'd never really paid attention to before. Security stopped her at the front desk. Ma'am, Mr. Ethan has flagged you in our system. You're not allowed on the property. Please leave now or we'll call the police. She stood there in the lobby, mascara running down her face, people in suits staring. The same building where she used to meet him for lunch dates. Now she was being kicked out like a crazy ex. Because that's exactly what she was. If your ex came crawling back after they realized they messed up, would you give them a second chance? Or would you let them live with their choice? Be honest. Drop it in the comments. Meanwhile, Ethan was thriving. Going on weekend trips with Maya. Laughing again. Sleeping peacefully. But he felt like the world needed to hear this story. So one night he logged into Reddit. Posted the whole thing on a revenge forum. Didn't use real names but posted everything else. Kyle's cocky text. The selfie. The bank statement screenshots. The LinkedIn salary highlight. And his ice-cold response. The post exploded like a nuke. In 12 hours, 1 million upvotes. In 24 hours, 4.7 million upvotes. Became the #1 post of all time on that entire forum. People screenshotted and blasted it everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It spread like wildfire. Comments poured in by the thousands. This is the coldest thing I've ever seen. That 67K highlight is savage. Bro really said I'm upgrading and meant it. Memes flooded the timeline. Someone made a YouTube video reading it, then 10 more videos, then 100. Within 2 weeks, over 60 million people worldwide had seen the story, and somebody recognized Kyle's face from that selfie. They found his LinkedIn, then his Instagram, then everything. His inboxes got destroyed. Hundreds of messages every hour. You're the broke guy who flexed on a millionaire. How's poverty treating you, champ? Imagine being this dumb. Strangers sent friend requests just to mock him. His co-workers saw it. His boss saw it. Clients saw it. He walked into the office and people were literally laughing, whispering, pointing. He became the company joke. The walking meme. His sales dropped because nobody took him seriously anymore. 3 days after the post went mega viral, Kyle deleted everything. LinkedIn gone. Instagram deleted. Facebook erased. Twitter wiped. He tried to vanish from the internet completely. But you can't erase screenshots. You can't delete the internet's memory. The damage was permanent. 6 months later, he transferred to a branch in another state just to escape. Even changed his phone number. Ran away from his own life. Vanessa got destroyed too. Her friends saw the post, put 2 and 2 together, realized the story was about her. The group chat went silent. No more brunch invites. No more girl trips. People she thought were ride or die just disappeared. Her Instagram comments filled with strangers. You're the girl who left the millionaire, right? How's that upgrade working out? She stopped posting. Stopped going out. Deleted half her photos. The glamorous life she was chasing became a prison of shame and regret. And her relationship with Kyle? Dead in less than a year. They fought constantly. About money. About the embarrassment. About whose fault it was. screaming matches that ended with slammed doors. Finally, they broke up in Kyle's apartment over an argument about groceries. Groceries. She moved into a tiny studio apartment across town, alone, scrolling through old pictures of the life she threw away. Kyle moved to another city and started over with a new name on social media. Both of them broken. Both of them humiliated. Both of them living proof that karma is real and she never misses. If you're loving this, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you're here for the next story. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. One random afternoon, Ethan and Maya were grabbing coffee before her hospital shift, sitting by the window, laughing about something silly, holding hands like teenagers. The door opened. Ethan glanced up. His smile froze. Vanessa walked in. She looked like a different person, skinny, tired, no makeup, hair in a messy bun. She saw him and her whole face just crumbled. She walked over slowly, like she was scared he'd run. "Ethan, please, can I just talk to you for 1 minute? That's all I'm asking." Maya squeezed his hand under the table, gave him a look that said, "I'm here, whatever you decide." Ethan stood up, looked Vanessa right in the eyes. "No anger, no hate, just nothing. There's nothing to talk about, Vanessa. You made your choice. You wanted someone better. You got exactly what you asked for." Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't know. I didn't understand what I had. I made a mistake." He picked up his coffee in Maya's hand. "No, you made a choice. And choices have consequences. I hope it was worth it." They walked past her and out the door. Vanessa stood there alone in that coffee shop, tears rolling down her face, watching through the window as the man she destroyed drove away with someone who actually valued him. She never saw him again. Not at events. Not around town. Not anywhere. He erased her like she never existed. Here's how the whole thing ended. Kyle's still in another state, working a smaller job, keeping his head down, praying nobody recognizes him. Vanessa's still working her same marketing job, living in that tiny apartment, scrolling through memories of a life that could have been hers forever. She sees Ethan's name pop up sometimes in charity event articles, always with Maya, always smiling. Meanwhile, Ethan married Maya 2 years later. Small private wedding. Just close family and friends. He donated $4 million to financial literacy programs and shelters for abuse survivors. Still drives that same old Toyota, now with a bumper sticker that says humble and hungry. Still wears regular clothes. Still lives like a normal guy. But now he's with someone who saw his heart before she ever saw his bank account. Someone who loves him on purpose. And that Reddit post still up. Still getting comments every single day. Still being shared as the ultimate never judge a book story. A legend that reminds millions. The quiet ones are usually the dangerous ones. Here's the truth that'll stick with you long after you close this video. The people who scream the loudest usually have the least to say. The people who brag the most usually have the least to show. Real power moves in silence. Real wealth doesn't need a stage. And real revenge isn't about getting even. It's about becoming so much better than they ever deserved that they spend the rest of their lives knowing exactly what they lost. Ethan didn't need to yell, didn't need to argue. He just showed receipts, said 5 words and walked away a legend. That's power. Now I need to hear from you. If you were Ethan, would you have posted the story online or just disappeared quietly? Do you think Vanessa ever actually loved him or just loved the idea of him? And what do you think Kyle tells people now when they ask why he deleted all his social media? Write every thought in the comments right now. I read them all. And if this story fired you up, absolutely destroy that like button, subscribe to this channel, smash the bell icon, and share this video with anyone who needs to know that karma never sleeps. She's always watching, always waiting, and she always collects. Thank you for sticking with me till the very end. I'll see you in the next one with another story that'll leave you speechless. Peace.